Well, towards the second game of the England national team as they are really playing against Ukraine, Phil Foden got some complications in his appendix and he underwent a surgery, and ever since then he was ruled out for like 2-3 weeks, and now we've been told when he's expected to make his return, and that is when they are facing Arsenal. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. How are you? And welcome to the Football News Show. We are discussing Koulibaly coming out and really revealing to us what he feels about Chelsea and their bad performances and what he thinks the dream is for him at Chelsea. And we're going to discuss about Pep Guardiola as he prepares to play his other quarterfinal in the Champions League against Bayern Munich and what his thoughts are into that galaxy. Smash the like button, guys, comment and share. Don't forget to subscribe. And this is Rokani David. Now, Phil Foden is one of those players that's been missing in action for a very long time, and he really got an injury or he underwent that surgery of his appendix when he was really in a very good form. In the previous 4-5 games of City, he had gotten himself close to 6 also. He had gotten himself 4 or 5 goals into that run, and you wouldn't like to lose a player who had picked out a form like that, as City are really having very many games to play. 2 in the Champions League, a semi-final in the FA Cup, and the remaining games against teams like Arsenal, Chelsea, and very many others in the Premier League. We've been told by Sun Sport that Phil Foden will start bike and strengthen work this week, and there are hopes to ease him back before Arsenal visit the Etihad on the 26th of April. The FA Cup semi-final against Sheffield United on Saturday week has been mentioned, but Arsenal are firmly in his sights, meaning that he's set to return when a team known as Man City is hosting Arsenal at the Etihad. When you look at Phil Foden returning at that fixture, won't be good news for the Arsenal side, because he's one of those players that can come off the bench and really change, because I don't expect him to start, having been out for like a month. That doesn't guarantee him to start in team of Pep Guardiola with the likes of Riyad Mahrez playing at their best again, and Jack Grealish with Bernardo Silva, because those are the 3 positions that Phil Foden can play comfortably into that team of Man City. You expect that Pep Guardiola will really have him back onto the bench as they play Arsenal. You know, if you're an Arsenal fan, you will a little bit feel pessimistic, because for your case, players like William Saliba have not been given green light of their return into this fixture of Man City. So it shows you that City are really going to welcome back Phil Foden, a player that is going to be so much pivotal into their season. Look at Phil Foden this season. He gives you vibes of waiting for him to come in through and obviously do the needful for the team of Man City, because he has gone ahead to register some good numbers this season in the Premier League. This season, Phil Foden has gone ahead to Phil Foden. In the Premier League this season, Phil Foden has gone ahead to really play 24 games, scored 9 goals and 4 assists. That means he's having 13 goal involvements. Then in the Champions League, he has played 6 games and scored 1 goal. So it shows you that he's that kind of player that Pep Guardiola would always love to be having into his games. But for the game of Bayern Munich tomorrow, he's not going to play it. That's it, he's out. But around 23rd, he'll be back to really play into that beautiful game of football as they take on a side known as Arsenal. So they'll be welcoming back one of their homegrown talents, and it's really exciting. You know, his season has been really disturbed with injuries and really doping deep in form, with the manager Pep Guardiola assuring him that if at all you want to come into my team, you need to be outperforming one of the best right forwards in the world known as Riyad Mahrez. Now after that, Pep Guardiola has gone ahead to speak to the media ahead of the game of Bayern Munich, and the first question was, do you want to win the Champions League? He said, I definitely want to win the Champions League, but you have to earn it. People always say I'm here to win the Champions League. My dream is to keep trying to win all competitions, and here we are again into the Premier League, FA Cup and the Champions League, meaning that Pep Guardiola is still aiming at what we call a treble. You know, yesterday, Arsenal drawing with Liverpool has given them a lot of hope into the Champions League, you know, sorry, into the Premier League. So he's in the semi-finals of the FA Cup. He's having Bayern Munich into the quarterfinals of the UEFA Champions League, and Sheffield Wednesday into the semi-finals of the FA Cup. What does that mean? Looks like that they are already in the final, because for Sheffield Wednesday, it's going to be a walk in the park for Man City. That's it. They are going to easy past it, because Burnley, that is really so much stronger than Sheffield Wednesday, just found itself being beaten by Man City by 6 goals to 0. So, as it stands, there is no reason for Pep Guardiola to really not eye those 3 trophies, because he can win them. You know, if they can beat Arsenal and win all their games, their fate will be really so much based onto the goal difference. So, can Arsenal outscore Man City the remaining games? We're waiting to see how that happens. But that does not give them guarantee that they are going to win these trophies, because Bayern Munich is one of those teams that are really tricky. It's having Thomas Tuchel, a manager that knows Pep Guardiola very well, with the quality of players that is having at Bayern Munich, that can really put him in a situation of really making it hard for Pep Guardiola at that side. In the FA Cup, either Brighton or Manchester United, that Man City is going to face in the finale, can shock him. So, I think none of those trophies City has a hand on. For now, they don't have a hand on any of those trophies as per now. However much Arsenal looks like has put itself in 6 points ahead of City, with City having a game in hand, and that game in hand, City are going to be playing away at Brighton. You know how Brighton behaves when they are playing away from home. So a shocker might happen very soon. So let's not really rule City out, but we are not giving them a chance also to win a treble, because me as a United fan, I wouldn't like to see City win a treble. That's why I want us to knock out Brighton on, I think, 23rd of this month, so to it that we play into the FA Cup finale with City, such that the fate is in our hands to either grant them a treble or not, because by the time we play the FA Cup finale, I think the Premier League might have really ended, or we would have gotten to know the real shape of how the final bend is going to be. Then even the Champions League will be knowing who are going to be playing in the finale. So if at all Man City will be playing in the finale and they are still toe to toe with Arsenal into the Premier League, that means the mantle will be on us to stop it, because we are the only Premier League team that has ever won a treble into their season. Last season, Liverpool had a chance to even win a quadruple, but it all ended in vain. They only won the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. They missed the 2 huge trophies they would have wanted to win. That is the Champions League and the Premier League. They lost the Premier League to Man City and the Champions League to Real Madrid. So it shows you how hard it is for Pep Guardiola, but he's hinting on him wanting to win a treble. That is the Champions League, where he's playing Bayern Munich on Tuesday, then FA Cup, playing Sheffield Wednesday in the semi-finals, and the Premier League, where he's just 6 points behind Arsenal with the game in hand. If they win their game in hand, they find themselves in a position of being 3 points behind Arsenal. But remember, Arsenal, if at all they win their game against Southampton and West Ham, they'll be 9 points ahead of City, because City will have to play into the FA Cup semi-finals, and that means Arsenal will be playing Southampton at the Emirates. Now, lastly, let's discuss a little bit about Kalidou Koulibaly, a player that was signed from Napoli. Very many Premier League clubs were calling for him when he was around 26-25 years of age, but Napoli never wanted to sell him. They were calling in for 100 million euros, and no team was willing to offer, and finally they sold him at 35 million pounds from Napoli to Chelsea. Now, Kalidou Koulibaly has said, Chelsea made a big decision to sign me, and there is a big desire in me to give back. I want to be part of this club for many years. Chelsea, I know I'm not 100%, but think I'm going to my level he will have a great future. That's what Willie Potter said about him. So Kalidou Koulibaly is one of those defenders that you would always put your hand in for, to die for, and really predict that they're going to come in and really perform very well. But at Chelsea, it has failed to work all out for him, and I think he's just trying to really do the needful. But obviously, you don't even blame him. You don't even blame him for his on and off performances. Do you know why? He has so far been coached by 3 managers in a space of just 6 months. Thomas Tuchel was sacked. He's the manager that signed him. Then Graham Potter came in through, and then it's Frank Lampard. Now it looks like it's hard for him to settle in because he's being coached by different managers, and that really calls in for inconsistency in the performance of the player. But he is really a quality defender that if at all a right manager gets him a right partner at Chelsea, is going to go ahead and really perform very, very well. So guys, your thoughts on Phil Foden returning against Arsenal at Etihad are welcome in the comment section below. Do you think Pep Guardiola is going to win a treble? That's it. And last, what do you think about Kalidou Koulibaly coming out and revealing to us what his thoughts are at Chelsea and his in and off performances that has gone ahead to really orchestrate at Chelsea? I sign out for now. See you later. I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. Those are my Christian friends, and my Muslim friends, Ramadan Kareem.